How you doing, gamers? This is John with Gamester81.com. Before I get going on this video, I got a lot of games to go over here in front of me, but before I get started on this video, I just want to say a couple big thank yous to some good guys in the community. First off, many of you guys may notice that I have a new intro to my videos. The last couple of videos I've posted my new intro, and I owed a lot of that to these two guys. So one guy is Vlad. He is a great guy. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel below. He helped me with the visuals of the intro. He also helped me with the new logo design for my channel. Also helped me with my Star Wars channel, my Starwarsnut77 channel. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. My collection of Star Wars, just to give you an example, is actually bigger than my collection of video games. But he helped me with this logo as well. So big thank you to Vlad. Couldn't have done it without him and his help. Another big thank you is to Jason Heine. The EMU Review is his YouTube channel here. And he helped me with the audio for the intro. So big thank you to both those guys. I couldn't have done it without both those. So I'll put a link to both their channels below. I really encourage you guys to check them out and show some support. So I just want to give credit where credit's due and all that good stuff. So a little while ago, actually a long time ago, I posted a video on my rarest consoles in my collection. I have over 200 unique consoles, video game consoles in my collection. And I think I did a top 20 of video consoles, and people seem to enjoy that. And a lot of people were asking me, John, what are some of your rarest games in your collection? It took me a while to really think about it because, to give you an idea, my game collection is a little over 2,500 different unique games. So I had to kind of scrummage through my games and determine what's rare. There is a difference, in my opinion, between rarity and value. A lot of people associate something being rare and something being really expensive. And in most cases, that's true. But there's some examples where a game might be worth a lot, but it may not be rare, and vice versa. A game may be rare and might not be worth very much at all. It all depends on supply and demand, right? So I guess a lot of it's depend on demand of the game. A good example of that would be a game like Earthbound. Earthbound, in my opinion, is obviously a great game, but it's super expensive, overly priced in my opinion as far as rarity goes. Or because for example, you can go to eBay right now and you can find more than 20 different copies of Earthbound on eBay. But people love the game, and rightfully so. So people are willing to pay more for it. Plus, it's bundled with a cool box and guide, all that good stuff. It's unique. I don't particularly own a copy of Earthbound. Honestly, in my collection, it's not because I don't like the game. I actually was planning on buying a copy, but I'm going to wait now that Nintendo's releasing a virtual copy of it, or so you can download it through the Wii U. My prediction is the demand's going to go down on the physical copy, and I'm going to wait till that happens. But there's some games in this collection I'm going to show you that are rare, but necessarily not valued very much, and you'll see what I mean by that. So let's go and get started, and this is part one. This is numbers 20 through 11. So number 20 in my collection, this is kind of an interesting game. I'm sure many of you guys may have never heard of it, and you may have never even heard of the system that it's actually on. It's on the Super ACAN. This is a Funtech actually made it. It's a Taiwanese. It came out in Taiwan in 1995. It's a 16-bit console, and here's the cart itself. It's Adventures in Africa, and that's the language you can't really understand it, but basically it's like a Monopoly game, like an African-themed Monopoly game for the system. The system didn't do very well at all. The ACAN didn't anyway. It's a 16-bit and came out in 95, so it came out really late in the 16-bit life. I mean, at this time, PS1 is already out. You had Saturn, 32-bit market was already established. The 16-bit market, Super Nintendo, Genesis, it pretty much had died by 95. So it came out way in life, way late. This game is rare because the system's rare, but I'd say the value of this particular game loose like this is probably closer to about $75. On to number 19 on my list. This game also was for a pretty rare system, and thus making this game pretty rare. I love the name for this game, by the way. It sounds like a bad porno, and it's called Sticky Balls. It's for the Gizmondo. The Gizmondo itself was a handheld, came out in 2005. It released in Europe and here in North America. It was kind of ahead of its time when it came out. Basically, it had a GPS. It could do GPS. Had augmented reality like the 3DS has today. So it could do augmented reality way before augmented reality really hit mainstream with that system. Sticky Balls is a unique game. I'd say the value of this, even though it's rare, value of a complete box like this is about $50. So again, it's rare, but the value doesn't necessarily mean that it's worth a lot, like I was saying before. Sticky Balls is unique in gameplay-wise, where there's a whole bunch of balls that are sticky, and it's almost like pool. You have to hit them all, connect all the different colors together. It's more of a puzzle game. Think of games like Tetris, Dr. Mario, stuff like that, but it's in a 3D environment. Pretty cool. Love the graphics. Actually, really a fun and addictive game. Number 18 on my list is a game that's pretty rare for the Atari 2600. It was one of the factors of why the video game crash happened in '83. Basically, this game came out in '82. At this time, Atari had no control as far as what games were being produced and developed for the Atari 2600. That's one of the reasons why Nintendo later on came with Nintendo Steel Quality. You guys remember that? Well, that's the reason why Nintendo did that, so they had control because of games like this. This game is called Beat 'em and Eat 'em. It's by Mystique. It came out in '82, and it was only available through porn shops. The gameplay, I wish I could show you some gameplay on this video. Unfortunately, I'm worried it may get flagged. But basically the way it plays, it's Kaboom. Think of Kaboom. It's a pretty popular game where you're jumping bombs and you're supposed to catch the bombs before they hit the ground. Basically, you're this guy who's naked and he's dropping his man juice, and you're supposed to catch these women at the bottom, or sometimes a woman or two women, and you're supposed to catch, their mouths are open, you're supposed to catch the juice before it drops. It uses a trackball controller where, you know, it plays actually pretty well. But the value of this game is about $75 loose like this. If you can get it complete in box, obviously it jumps up to over $100, $150 or more. But cartridge only, you're looking at about $75. The label itself is a picture of a lady with ice cream cones. She's eating ice cream cones, which is kind of interesting. So that is by Mystique. It's called Beat 'em and Eat 'em by Mystique. Came out in 1982 for the Atari 2600. On to number 17 on my list. This is a game. It came out also for the Atari 2600. It's called Chase the Chuck Wagon. What makes this game so unique and rare is that it was only available through Purina Dog Chow. It was a promotion. It came out in 1983. And what makes it rare is you had to get like these proof of purchases through your dog food and then send them into Purina, and then they would send you this game. It does come with a box. I don't have the complete box version of it or anything like that. Again, this would probably be valued, a loose cart like this, at anywhere from $75 to maybe $100 or more, depending on the condition. This is okay shape. There's some, you know, obviously wear. It's the game's 30 years old, nearly, anyway. But still, plays really, actually, it's a maze game. You're this dog, you're controlling these different things. But it's odd, kind of an odd cross-marketing promotion. You'd think that people who are buying dog food or Purina products aren't necessarily gamers. So it's kind of a weird promotion. I think it's popular because of that. But so this is number 17 on my list. This is Chase the Chuck Wagon. Number 16 on my list is a game that came out for the NES, Nintendo Entertainment System. It came out later in the life of the NES. It came out in '94 by Konami. It is Turtles Tournament Fighters. It valued around a loose cart like this anywhere from $75 to $100 or more. It's gone up in value over the years. I believe I paid $20 for it several years back, so just giving you ideas how much it's gone up, the demand. What makes this game so unique, the Turtles Tournament Fighters, is it's the only fighting game for the NES. So it's just, you know, you actually pick between different turtle characters and other like that, and you can actually play like a fighting game. There's beat 'em ups, but this is the only fighting game for the NES. So it came out later in the life of Nintendo. It makes it rare because of that reason. So this is number 16 on my list, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters. Oh, and also just want to note, it was also ported to the Genesis Mega Drive and the Super Nintendo, so a lot of people were probably purchasing it for the next current gen, you know, the new generation of systems, which would have been the 16-bit gen, and those ports are much better than this one, trust me. Number 15 on my list is a game that came out in 2010 for the Atari 2600. I picked it up at the Classic Gaming Expo in Vegas when they first issued it, and it's Halo 2600. I also have the box for it as well. What makes this particular version of Halo 2600 so rare is only available at the Classic Gaming Expo. It's a black label. There's a silver label as well. You can pick up through Atari Age, their website, and that was the second run. So this is the very first issue. It's by Ed Fries, who worked for Microsoft, who designed Halo, and it plays. You're basically Master Chief, and you have to. It's like a top-down, and the graphics are cool, and the intro is really cool. So. Very cool homebrew. It's Halo 2600. If you're a fan of Halo series, this is definitely one to look at getting as far as the Atari 2600. And I'd say probably the value of this is probably $100 loose cart. Number 14 on my list is a game for the Jaguar, the Atari Jaguar, and it's Atari Karts. This game is interesting in the fact that it's basically a Mario Kart clone. It's by Atari, and they take different Atari characters, although only one of them actually I'm familiar with. That's Bentley Bear. If you guys ever played Crystal Castles for the Atari, the classic arcade game, he's that bear in Crystal Castles actually is in this game as well. Even though it's the Jaguar 64-bit, the graphics actually look very similar to Super Mario Kart. It's very flat. There's no really 3D terrains or anything like that. But it is a rare game. I'd say the value of this in box, complete with manual, which I have here, is probably worth $100 to $150. Beautiful thing is I paid $10 for this in the wild. I picked it up at a vintage stock a while ago for $10, so I got a good deal on it. But it's not a very good game, doesn't play very well, especially with the weird, awkward Jaguar controllers. Definitely don't recommend it if you have a Jaguar unless you're looking for something of value. Number 13 on my list is a game for the SuperGrafx, which is by NEC. It's a successor of the PC Engine / TurboGrafx 16 The system didn't do very well, but it was pretty cool. And there's a few games that came out for it that are worth getting, and this is one of them. It's by Capcom. It's basically, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, Daimakamura. I'm probably butchering that, but it's basically Ghouls and Ghosts by Capcom for the Super Graphics. Best home port version you will find. It plays superior than the Super Nintendo / Super Famicom version, in my personal opinion. The music's just beautifully done. The colors are great. This is an awesome game, and it's valued with complete box like this. They're hue cards just like the PC Engine cards are. I'd value this anywhere from $100 to $150 depending on any given day. But pretty cool game, definitely must own for the Super Graphics. And that's number 13 on my list. Number 12 on my list, going back to Mystique and Atari 2600, and this is Custer's Revenge. And this has got a nice little case here. I actually have the box too that comes with this. It has a nice flap. I'm not quite sure where that is. I know it's boxed away somewhere, but I do have it. But you know, good condition. This game, just like Beat 'em and Eat 'em, it was a pornographic game only available in porn shops in the early 80s. Didn't sell very well, limited supply run by Mystique. The gameplay is basically this Colonel Custer, and you're basically there's a Native American woman who's trapped to a pole, and there's arrows firing down, and you're supposed to basically, I hate to say it, but you're supposed to rape this Native American. It's terrible. The gameplay is terrible, and I can't imagine a game like this coming out today. I'm sorry I can't show you gameplay for it. I'm sure you can Google it and see it for yourself, but you're basically naked, you have a hard-on. It's shocking that a game like this would come out back then, particularly, but I mean, now that would never see the light of day. But valued anywhere, again, between, I'd say, about $100 to $150 value of Custer's Revenge for the Atari 2600. Number 11 on my list is a game that came out for the Philips CDI system. Came out in '93. If you guys are a big Zelda fan, you guys may know about this series, but this particular version is called Zelda, Wand of Gamelon. It's a CD game based game, came out for the Philips CDI in '93. A little backstory about this game and how this came to pass. This is the only Zelda game that Nintendo never developed or produced. And the backstory is basically Nintendo had teamed up with Sony to produce a CD, Nintendo PlayStation CD attachment for the Super Nintendo. They backed out, Sony backed out, and basically Nintendo backed out of Sony's agreement. Sony was pissed about it, angry about it, so they decided, you know what, we're gonna do it. We learned all this stuff through Nintendo, we're gonna create our own system. It later became this Sony PlayStation, which many of us know today. Nintendo then moved to Philips and partnered with Philips. Now, Nintendo at the time saw how poorly the Sega CD was doing, so again, they backed out from Philips. But through the agreement and arrangement through Philips, Philips had the rights to several games, so they produced 3 different Zelda games and 1 Mario game called Mario Hotel, or Hotel Mario rather. I have another game here called Link Faces of Evil. This game right here is probably worth $80, so it's still pretty rare. This game right here, Zelda Wand of Gamelon, is worth $130. The other Zelda game for it, actually even more, it's probably a couple $100 more, but I don't have that yet. But this is a pretty cool game. Well, I shouldn't say pretty cool. It's cool in the sense that it's a Zelda game for the Philips CDI. The gameplay is god-awful. The cutscenes, animation is terrible, and the voicing is awful as well. So it's definitely a collector's item for the CDI. And then the Zelda Wand of Gamelon, number 11. Guys, that concludes part 1 of my top 20 games that are in my collection. Let me know what you guys think. Post video responses. Let me know if you guys own any of these games. Let me know if you guys have played any of these games, what your personal opinions of these games are. Always appreciate your guys' support and subscribing, commenting, liking, all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys soon. Happy gaming.